Hello, and welcome to the Project's Relax Talk. I am your host, Smokey, and joining with me, as always, is my co host, Spooge.
Oi.
Alright, another extra relax talk.
Hell yeah.
So,
Sitting here, smoking my cig, ready to relax.
there's not really much news going on today,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a few topics we'll talk about today. It's going to be a very, very relaxed one. I've encountered something that I'm actually very torn on because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna be upfront. I don't know Joe Rogan enough to have an opinion on the guy. I know that he's a conservative podcast dickhole, but that I
he's he's a from what I've seen of him, I'd say he's like a he's like a more libertarian side. He's definitely, at least from what I saw him, he was a little bit more centrist because he had like a lot of like radical left people too on his podcast he he'd let talk to. He kind of jumps onto controversy. I mean, he's definitely a meathead.
gotcha, but there's some controversy with Spotify apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and this is from the Washington Post. Apparently, Spotify responds after Johnny Mitchell and others join Neil Young and demand the platform remove their content.
Mm.
So, Spotify broke out its silence on Sunday and announced slight changes to its policies around content concerning COVID 19 after facing a week of criticism for allowing its creators, particularly podcaster Joe Rogan, to spread misinformation about the pandemic.
Okay, and this is why, and also I don't know the context of what was being discussed, but that's sort of when we're going into Joe Rogan, he does explore the outside opinions, and probably the main problem is that he stays neutral for everything. So he does allow like crazy conservative voices, especially like in anti-vaxxers and such, to actually have a platform and talk to him, and he doesn't challenge them per se, you know. So that's mainly where that's why he's like sometimes that's why like a lot of people can't really agree on what Joe Rogan is, you know.
Gotcha. All
But
right.
he's had, I mean, that's his most popular episodes are him and Alex Jones.
But apparently, Spotify CEO Daniel said you've had a lot of questions over the last few days about our platform policies and the lines we have drawn between what is acceptable and what is not. We have had rules in place for many years, but adamantly, we haven't been transparent about the policies that our content more broadly that guide our content more broadly. The new changes include public publishing the company's internal rules for what is allowed on the platform, testing ways to highlight those rules to its creators, and working to add a content advisory to any podcast episode that includes a discussion about COVID 19.
Mm-hmm.
We know we have a critical role to play in supporting creator expression while balancing it with the safety of our users. Eek wrote, in the role in that role, it is important to me that we don't take on the position of being content censor while also making sure that there are rules in place and consequences for those who violate them.
Mm-hmm.
The controversy began last week when rocker Neil Young posted a letter on his website demanding that his music be removed from Spotify in response to fake information about vaccinations on the platform. He signaled out Rogan, who hosts the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, as part of his issue with Spotify, writing, "They can have Rogan or Young, not both." 2 days later, Spotify began the process of pulling Young's music, saying in a statement that they regret Young's decision but hope to welcome him back soon.
Oh wait, does it? Okay, that means fucking all the New York, Young stuff's gone. Is the loner still on there?
Days later, others began joining Young. I've decided to remove all my music from Spotify. 8-time Grammy winner songwriter Johnny Mitchell wrote in a statement on her website on Friday. Irresponsible people are spreading lies that are costing people their lives. I stand in solidarity with Neil Young and the global scientific and medical communities on this issue. Now,
God damn it, they did take. Yeah, fucking the loner's gone. Fuck, this is my jam.
uh, Nels Lofgren of the frontman of the band Grin and the member of both Crazy Horse and Bruce Springsteen E Street Band wrote in a statement on Young's website that he would cut ties with Spotify and urge all musicians, artists, and music lovers anywhere to do the same.
I mean, I feel like there's other
Don't
reasons
fucking
why.
ruin my Spotify now, damn it.
I
Like, this
feel
is
like
playing a
there's other
fine line because
there's better reasons to stop listening to Spotify. I'm just gonna be honest, just of how they kind of treat a lot of like indie uh, content creators. They
yeah,
just how much money they take. But yeah, um, it really comes down to I really need context for this is the big thing. Because I mean I understand that Joe Rogan is definitely explores controversies. That's his main thing. Very much a free speech absolutist.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, if Spotify wants to promote free speech, that's fine. And if
Mm-hmm.
artists don't want to be on that platform that you know promotes free speech, they don't want their
Mm-hmm.
music on that platform, that's fine. But don't fucking sit there and try to like peer pressure and like morally obligate fucking other musicians to do the same as you because you feel it's the only right thing to do when it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking shutting down Spotify is not gonna stop the issue. Like
Yeah.
clearly your issue is with Joe Rogan because you're calling Joe Rogan out. You wouldn't have called Joe
Yeah.
Rogan out if the issue wasn't Joe Rogan. That's who you need to be going for, not fucking Spotify just because he's on Spotify. Like, do you know how fucking much I use Spotify, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't deal. I couldn't protest Spotify if even if I fucking wanted to because that's how I listened to last podcast.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's real nitpicky. I mean, it all comes down to because it's I has Joe Rogan actually said anything against? I mean, I he definitely suggests that, and it can be taken either way. It is true. The more healthy you are, and like the more better that you take care of himself. That's Joe Rogan's main thing is that you'll be able to like you'd survive COVID. And you wouldn't come out you'd come out of it better
Okay,
if you
I'm
were a
gonna.
healthy
Okay,
person.
then I'm gonna be real pissed if Joe Rogan's stance is you can survive COVID because that's just like facts.
Mm,
Like, if you can't stand that fact that some people don't want to get vaccinated and rather take the risk of getting COVID and surviving it or not, that's fine. It's fucked up that they're spreading it around and everything, but we can't sit there and force a needle in their goddamn arm. We can't do
mm.
that.
And that's why it's like you definitely yeah. And I definitely agree with things like not letting people into businesses without COVID cards and stuff. Like that's businesses' decisions.
Yeah, that's the free market. If the business doesn't want to serve non-vaccinated people, that's completely their decision.
Mm-hmm. And there's even a lot of businesses that say like you can't come into the store, but there are avenues where we'll bring it out to you, you know, and
Yeah,
people still
you got
are
pickup.
mad that they can't go inside.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of understand why, because I feel that sometimes the pickup people, they got to run around grocery shopping half-ass
Hmm.
it, but that's because, they don't want to fucking be there. They don't want to be grocery shopping for somebody else.
Hmm.
So I don't.
Honestly, though, grocery shopping for people is probably the easiest part of a grocery job. It's like then you don't have to fucking be up at guest services or some shit. I
Gotcha.
you know.
I feel you on that. I don't know. I'm someone that disdains grocery shopping, so just even if you paying me to do it, it's something like, okay, the only reason why I'm
Hmm.
doing this is because I'm getting paid.
Yeah, which helps. I mean, I definitely just do that. But anyway, it's it's weird because I just think it's inaccurate to call Joe Rogan conservative blankly. I think he's more complicated than that.
I'm just
Um,
going on the memes and stuff that I've seen on him, and it seems like the conservative party loves him, and
yeah, it's because
that's what I'm assuming.
he gives them a voice,
I'm projecting his main audience onto him, and that's what I shouldn't be doing, and that's
yeah,
probably what everybody else is doing as well.
and he definitely has more conservative voices on there than liberal ones, but he actively takes controversial characters and invites them on to like say their side of the story. That's his whole point.
And that's fully fine. I actually support that,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Like
always need to.
and he doesn't always bend over to them. I mean, that's the whole thing. He was berating Alex Jones on the mass shooting like conspiracies,
Yeah,
and
like
that's where famously Alex Jones said that he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe, I'm fucking retarded.
oh yes. I didn't know
Yeah,
that's what that came from.
and honestly, I think they kind of exposed Alex Jones more as a con man.
Gotcha. But
But yeah, he definitely has I think Jordan Peterson's been on there a lot, and everyone hates him.
and my point
Um,
is my point is that you always need to hear the other side, even if the other side is full of shit, because you will learn that the other side is full of shit. Like, you
mhm,
can't silence the other side, because then they're just gonna like spread their misinformation in silent,
mhm.
discreet ways that you're never going to notice until it's too late.
But yeah, and he treats everyone equally because I mean he had Kyle Kuklinski on there of secular talk too. He's a super uber liberal, and I mean he gave him a fair voice, fair shake. He's
Yeah,
just not.
Kyle Kuklinski is a
He's
super
a
low.
neutral
He
interviewer, and sometimes people don't like that if they're interviewing someone that they don't agree with.
to be honest, Kyle Kalinske kind of goes like too hard with his liberalism sometimes for me. Like, he goes hard with it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
he is the only one like that I want. Secular Talk is the only like place that I get my news now, because he talks about the facts.
Hmm.
That's like,
He do.
and that's the ultimate. Like, I understand that Joe Rogan's not talking about the facts, but he doesn't. It's his podcast. He doesn't have to talk about the facts.
Hmm.
That would be like getting onto us because of our relaxed talk being a relaxed talk, and us not having any format to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's our shit. We can do whatever the fuck we want with it.
Hmm. And he definitely has meat-headed opinions. I mean, he was, of course, adamantly against like the SJW movement, heavily vocally. I mean, he's a comedian, um, naturally,
I mean, I'm
and an
not for the
MMA
I'm
fighter
not
too.
for the social justice warrior. I was for the movement, but I do say they became they unknowingly became a villain trying to stop something that they didn't know how to, and now they've turned into something that's just not acceptable.
It's a lot of misinterpreting things and just kind of yeah. and
Yeah, it's
overreacting. It's reactionary, and it's funny. It's like it's weird that people would move to the right after like the SJW movement was really pushing because I mean the right has always been its own SJW movement. You know, it's two sides of the same coin, and no one's really like very few people are actually like fighting for all opinions to be respected. Everyone's really just fighting for their opinion to be the respected one.
yeah, and
You know.
yeah, and I gotta say, I'm someone that needs like a lot of information on a certain topic to have an opinion because I take things case by case basis. I don't sit there and group a few number of cases in together and say, oh, these people are monsters because they associate with A, B, and C. I have to
Mm-hmm.
know that particular case, what it's about, what's going on in it. I have to know both the accusers and the defendant's side. I have to hear both. And sometimes, I just feel
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
people sometimes lie.
and the main thing here is about. I understand that the main thing here is about platforming. Is about because some a lot of people will even argue that debating, even if you are harsh going after debating a conservative voice, that you are that some people will even say that having them on displaying it is still giving them a voice and it's still dangerous, and a lot of people will even get in trouble for that.
But they gotta debate. I mean, you gotta debate. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
it's I'm scared that this is going to lead to a half broken Spotify just because everybody wants to.
Mm-hmm.
One second.
I understand why Neil Young's so gun ho too. I mean, he's ultra liberal. I mean, he's lived through
Yeah,
the
but
hippie age. You know,
this very
I mean, he's the
overaction.
one that made
Oh,
the
this is
song
this.
about the
I will
whole
say.
Penn State massacre.
I will have to
Kent
say
State
this.
massacre.
I will have to say this is a very overreaction on any other artist's part to jump on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to assume it's because they want to support their friend Neil Young, which that's
Mm-hmm.
fine, but don't sit there and try to like say you're a terrible person because you want your content on Spotify. Like you do you know how hard it is to get your fucking content out nowadays?
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Yahtzee Croshaw put it best way back when he started Zero Punctuation. When it comes to the internet, when you're creating a piece of content, a video, a podcast, even a picture, you're literally just putting it in a glass bottle, throwing it into a sea of glass bottles, and hoping somebody successful it picks it up and is interested in that glass bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So I'm not going to blame artists or get mad at people for wanting their content on a platform alongside conservative people or people that support conservative views or people that give conservative people a voice because they deserve a voice. What?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they're wrong. Just because they're wrong doesn't mean they don't deserve a voice.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that, and I will agree that there's a lot of dangerous opinions. I mean, and I get the reaction. I mean, America is one of the only fucking quote unquote. I'm gonna use very, very sassy, sarcastic, quote unquote first world country that is still having this much of a problem with COVID because of the attitudes of our of our public. You know,
yeah, and it's
that's where the frustration comes from. The fact that in Australia they don't need masks anymore because it's been pretty much it's been controlled. When here it's still out of control, and it's leading to like it's helping the coronavirus evolve more, and it's getting more advanced beyond us, and I understand. It's definitely. I'm not going to disagree that that opinions on the Joe Rogan podcast, the people that they have on there are not dangerous.
No, I'm not saying they're not, but I'm still going to state them dangerous people still deserve a voice because they need to
Yeah.
be heard because we need to be able to point at them and be like, don't do that, don't be like that.
Hmm.
That's the whole point. It's the whole point of the internet. It's to reveal all the nasty little secrets of the world. It's
Hmm.
so it. I hate how everybody thinks the internet's supposed to be anonymous when it just needs to be. You just need to be transparent with it. You just need to
Hmm.
be fucking transparent. You don't need. Yeah, you can have some shame, but be transparent with your fucking internet use, because it like trying to be anonymous and hide just your it's not gonna work. It's crazy.
Hmm.
It's coming from
Yeah.
somebody that tried to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I really don't see people going after people who give like crystal healers and shit like that a platform too. A lot of them have really dangerous fucking opinions too about taking care of yourself, especially in mental health. Um,
But that's their beliefs. That is their
mhm.
beliefs.
Yeah,
We're not see that I hate that because when it comes to someone's beliefs being dangerous and their facts being dangerous, it's a completely different topic when it's not.
but I definitely don't see anybody making like going out of their way to try to cancel like Gwyneth Paltrow.
When she needs to Goop needs to be canceled. Goop is a
Yeah,
ripoff.
if Joe Rogan's gonna be canceled, you need
Dude,
to go after Goop first. I feel like.
do you think when if we ever get famous, right? Do you think I will be allowed to make a candle that smells like my nutsack?
I mean, I feel like that's the least she's done. I feel
No,
like I feel
oh!
like it's the most innocent thing.
I'm
I
still
feel like
mad about
I
it.
feel
I'm
like that
still
would
mad
actually.
she was able to get away with it.
Mhm.
Like nobody else can do that shit.
What I'm talking about more is like the mustard enemas and all that shit that you're actually putting into your body and is actually affecting
She
your body.
literally most of the drinks she sells, most of the fucking nutrient drinks and shit she sells are is literally chock full of rocks and shit.
Yeah, because it's all a scam. Cheap Chinese shit.
Like it's insane. But I'm never dropping the fucking candle. Like no.
Now I'm just thinking of Ethan Klein's asshole candle. Uh,
Did okay. Was Ethan Klein able to get an asshole candle?
he made it, yeah, and they lit it on the podcast, and it made them gag.
Well, I know what we're doing. We are
The
getting our
Paul.
nutsack candles, damn it. That is the first order
Coming
of
soon.
business. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but I'm doing it, damn it.
Well, I wonder how you would make that. Like, it would have to be something musky that you'd have to use as a base. From what I heard of, even her candle though, it didn't even smell like pussy, like
No,
at
no,
all.
it
It was
doesn't.
just like a weird chemical smell.
No, yeah, it smells like a fucking candle because it's just a candle.
Mm, it definitely has a bad smell from what I've seen that of people who smelled it. I mean, I've really only seen Moist Critical like have that, and it's usually pretty benign until he blows it out.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, it's I can see both arguments of this side, but I mean, it really just depends on, I guess, your stance on like free speech.
Yeah. and my stance is I'm with Spotify, and don't ruin my fucking Spotify trying to censor free speech, because that's not
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised Spotify's keeping Joe Rogan.
oh well, I'm proud of them, and I know why they're doing it because Spotify is even though I know they're kind of harsh with their indie people, when you
Hmm.
actually get into the Spotify, like in the in crowd of the Spotify higher ups, they treat you like royalty basically.
Yeah, and I mean it. And Joe Rogan's podcast was already way more established before it even got on Spotify too. I mean, just with YouTube.
Yeah, so even if they took Joe Rogan off of Spotify, you're not really doing anything. You're just hampering Spotify, not allowing them to have a certain podcast on their fucking platform because you
Hmm.
want to fucking be a dick.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to research it, but I feel like there's probably more obscure podcasts that have more dangerous messages on there that probably get
Oh
that probably
yeah,
aren't
for
even being
sure.
paid attention to.
Definitely, there's many podcasts on there with way dangerous fucking messages.
But
Like
yeah, I
they
mean,
have like
I'm.
severe Nazi podcast on there that you can fucking find,
Mhm.
dude.
But and what I'm scared is like if they did remove the Joe Rogan one, then there has to be like, what is the line? Is it just acknowledging these opinions? Is it if you're like seeming supportive of these opinions? Because then this could actually start affecting like last podcast. Because I mean they cover pretty controversial things.
Yeah, the second oh dude, that's when I'm actually taking that. I'm not doing nothing now with this I'm just talking about it, but if this starts fucking affecting my last podcast, we have a problem.
Yeah, because you know that the last podcast is not established enough where YouTube is going to be supporting them. They're just going to be demonetized. It's they would
like
actually have a harder time trying to find an avenue.
I don't know because they were exclusive with Spotify for a year.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
and Spotify, didn't like banish them from their platform for like leaving the exclusivity deal. If I'm not mistaken, they probably can just pick back up whenever they want to if they need to.
Yeah. I just don't know what they'd be on. I just know that YouTube doesn't work monetarily for them.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't. That's for sure. I don't know. I guess we'd have to fucking move to
SoundCloud, I guess.
SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud would be all right.
Hmm. And I
Pandora,
mean, of course,
maybe.
hardcore fans are gonna go wherever they go, but it definitely would
Yeah, I'm
cripple
going
them for
wherever
new
they go.
people.
If it ever affects I have to follow last podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Spotify is basically, to be honest, Spotify shouldn't even be called Spotify on my phone. It should be called the Last Podcast app because it's literally a Last Podcast app that can play my favorite music.
Hmm.
Like if I'm not like you can literally call me any you I'll be sleeping. I will be sleeping, and if you call me 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna hear last podcast in the background.
Hmm.
When have you not like
Um. Hmm.
when have you not heard last podcast in the background when you've called me?
I don't think ever. Even when you're playing something, it's playing.
I
But
don't I have to
definitely bummed that there's no more Neil Young stuff. But what are you gonna do?
yeah, if I'm really hampering from some Neil Young, I will go on YouTube and
Do
I'll
you even like Neil Young?
not I fuck I don't even think I've heard a single Neil Young song.
Him soldiers and Dixon coming.
If I've heard it's probably one of those it's like one of those artists if I hear the song I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard the song before." But I never knew the artist, no.
He's got a very he's a very soft singer,
Gotcha. But
and
no,
definitely a big one of.
I really
Mm.
could not care less that Neil Young's off the platform. I just don't want, because I know that I listen to people that are probably like would jump on the bandwagon with him, and I don't want
Hmm.
them to do that because I need
Yeah.
their I want their music. I don't need their music on Spotify, but I want their music on Spotify.
Hmm.
But if they leave Spotify, it's not gonna have me leave Spotify because I'm on Spotify as long as Last Podcast is there. As long as Last Podcast is on Spotify, I'm using it.
Yeah, and really the only Neil Young song I really play is The Loner.
All right, so that's the Spotify controversy.
It's The Loner.
Well, it's been 3 days since a certain Pokemon game came out.
Oh yeah. half, half of the game.
I say 1/4 of a game now that I've played more of it.
Someone described it it was I think it was Moist Critical that described it best. He's like, this is a really good proof of concept.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've played about. I want to say I've played about 20 hours. I have beaten 3 of the nobles, and I am about to start my 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so just done. I'm just done with the game. I don't care to see more because I already know what's going to happen cuz this game is just tedium. It has great mechanics, but this shit fucking sucks, dude.
It's raw. It's fucking raw.
Yes, it's fucking raw. I feel like I'm fucking testing a game that's still in beta.
Yeah.
Like, oh my dude, I don't even know where to begin, all right? Like, the story is interesting. It is interesting. But the story is not enough to circumvent the fact that the Pokédex bullshit is literally the same exact fucking shit. Copy and paste it 240 fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
I have to catch all two and you know there's 2 ways to do it, right? To
Mm-hmm.
catch all of the 240 Pokemon, there's 2 ways. You can either find them in the wild and catch them normally. All right, that's 25 times. That's fine. But it's fucking tedious to do that because the AI is fucking broken as shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The Pokemon won't even be spawned in. And then I will get spotted, and then it'll pop in, and then it'll attack me all of a sudden. It's like, where the fuck did it even come from? I'm going off tangent. I'm going off tangent. I'm going off tangent already. I was trying to explain how there's 2 ways to go about catching 240. 240. You can either find them in the wild, or you can catch the base evolutions and evolve them 25 times. This is the only fucking way. This is the only way you can defeat them 25 times. You have to do this, though. You have to do this. You have to catch them 25 times. You have to defeat them 25 times. And then sometimes you have to feed them like 4 or 5 times. That's not every Pokemon. Some Pokemon you don't have to feed for some reason. Other Pokemon you have to feed an ungodly amount 25 times sometimes for some reason. It's really fucking inconsistent. And the AI is so goddamn broken. Bidoof is the easiest. You're gonna finish your Bidoof page. I have it complete perfect. I caught 25. I've defeated 25. That was the easiest shit ever. I've seen it do rollout 25 times. There's some fucking moves you have to watch 50 goddamn times with one Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fucking use the goddamn same fucking move over and over and over again in this game. Like, it's a brand new game. There is all the moves. Every single move is different. They've changed it. They've tweaked it in a way, in some slight way. And I can't experiment because I'm forced to use Flame Wheel on my Typhlosion for fucking 800 times.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using other moves that could be beneficial or might just, be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's animation in it. There's animations in it, but only half the animations are here. There's no eating animation, dude. I know that's a little that's a bit nitpicky, but you shouldn't have my characters sitting at a table with plates and food in front of them, and then cut to black and have plates just mashing to fucking together, and then cut back and the food be gone. The fuck? Why couldn't you just show them hold a plate and them pretend to eat? Like you did in
Mhm.
Sword and Shield. Like,
Mm-hmm.
catching Pokemon is fun. I can say that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I will spoil the story. I won't spoil what happens in the story, but I'll spoil the story for you right now, the format. Alright, you're gonna fall from the sky. You following?
Yeah.
It starts from you falling. Okay, my bad. I kind of jumped ahead. You first you're gonna talk to God.
Mm-hmm.
God's gonna talk to you, and he's gonna be like your chosen one, and then he's gonna throw you out of a space-time rift, and you fall out of the sky, and you meet the fucking professor, and he's like, "Oh shit!" You catch 3 Pokemon, and they're like, "Oh shit, you're special." And then you go to one area. You go to the starting area, and you're gonna impress the ride Pokemon. The ride Pokemon is gonna let you ride it, and it's gonna give you an Arceus plate. Then
Mm-hmm.
the noble Pokemon of the area is gonna fucking go apeshit for some fucking reason. Arceus sends down a bolt of lightning and makes these Pokemon go crazy for some reason. And it's your job to go and throw what they're called bombs, but they're literally just sacks of food at the noble
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon. And they want you to battle them, but there's no point. They just dodge and throw the bombs. You'll finish the noble Pokemon. You just gotta dodge and throw. Dodge and throw. Don't fucking waste your Pokemon. You need the XP. That's the biggest XP boost you get in the fucking game. It's just throwing fucking dodge and throw. Dodge and fucking throw. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After you do that, you're gonna have you're gonna go back to the village, and they're gonna tell you you can't progress to the next area until you complete the Pokédex enough till you rank up. Okay, you get your second rank, you unlock the new next area. Guess what happens in the next area?
What?
You impress the ride Pokemon. The ride Pokemon allow. Okay, in this one it's a little different. You do calm down the ride Pokemon because it's apparently frenzied as well, but it's not actually frenzied. It just has pollen on it that's upsetting it. But you impress the ride Pokemon of the area, which is the new evolution of Ursaring, which is the item finder in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you impress him, he lets you ride it. Guess what you do next?
What?
The fucking noble Pokemon goes apeshit of the area. You gotta go to the noble Pokemon and you gotta fucking throw bombs at again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is literally just sacks of food. And they want you to fucking battle your Pokemon. They want you to use your Pokemon to battle with it. But that's just a waste of time. It's literally just rinse and repeat, dodge and throw. Dodge and throw. Don't waste your fucking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can you guess? Spooge, are you gonna make me? Can you guess what happens in the next area after you rank up again?
The same thing.
The same goddamn shit. You fucking. This time it's a little different. This time you actually see the noble Pokemon become the noble Pokemon. See, it's different. It's different. See, but you still had to impress the ride Pokemon so the Pokemon will allow you to ride it, so you can go see the noble Pokemon become the noble Pokemon, and then go ape shit, and then you have to throw bombs at it again, which is just sacks of food. And they want you to battle your Pokemon. They want you to use your Pokemon, but it's just a waste of time. It's just dodge and throw. Dodge and fucking throw.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ranked up again. This is where I stopped. This is where I was like, okay, I'm after the noble battle, I literally saved the game and turned it off. I was like, all right, I'm going to assume when I return to the village, they're going to be like, oh shit, there's trouble in the new area. But before you go to that new area, you have to be, I think I'm rank 3 now. I think I'm going to have to be rank 4 to go to the next area. Might be rank 5. One of the two. I can't remember. So I'm going to have to go do that. And then when I get to that new area, you know what I'm probably going to do? Did you cut out on me? I think you cut out on me. Anyway, you know what you're going to do? You're going to impress the ride Pokemon. The noble's going to go ape shit. And you're going to throw bombs at it. And you are cutting out really bad.
Oh, no. Get to a different spot. I don't know why it doesn't like over here. But yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I'm probably going to have to rank up again to go to the next area. And in that area, I'm probably going to have to impress the ride Pokemon. The noble's going to go ape shit, and I'm going to have to fucking throw bombs at it again.
Yeah, and it's not even about. I don't even think it's going to be about the repetition. Because most games are to an extent about repetition, but that repetition has to be fun.
It's not fun catching 25 Starlies, 25 Glammy.
Because you could break down Shadow of the Colossus of just like go to an area, defeat big thing, climb it, go to another area, defeat big thing, climb it, but that's repetitive, but they do it in unique ways, and it's like each fight is unique, you know.
Yeah, and this is not what we got here. This is if Monster Hunter didn't want you to fight the monsters. That's basically what this is. This is Monster Hunter if they didn't want you to fight the monsters and just learn about them. Like, yeah. That's cool, but man, this.
And then one thing that Monster Hunter still also has over this, the fact that you have to specifically prepare your gear and prepare your strategy, different for each of your targets. But in this one, it seems like you gotta throw some bombs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You just gotta throw bombs. And that's that's only at the you do have alpha Pokemon out in the wild that are stronger variants. They're totem Pokemon basically from Alola. But I have a Mega Bidoof now, a giant Bidoof now, so that's a thing.
One of those big brown beaver.
Yeah. I have an alpha version of that because an alpha Bidoof popped up and I was like, oh shit, and I caught it.
Winona had a big brown beaver and she stuck it up in the air.
And you know what would have made it fresher? They didn't even have to change. They didn't even have to change all the Pokemon. Just like half the Pokemon needed Hisuian forms. Something. or make half the Pokemon Hisuian exclusive Pokemon. Something to make it newer, especially since we just came off of Gen 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so sick of seeing fucking Bidoofs, Starly, Shinxes, Weasels, fucking any Gen 4, Glammeows,
Mm-hmm.
Shellos. Like,
Yeah.
it's. I had so. This game was supposed to be the game, Spooge. It was supposed to be the game.
Hopefully, because I feel like this is gonna have a quick burnout.
Oh,
Definitely.
oh, oh, this is another thing that's getting me. The fucking Pokemon community. I understand this is a breath of fresh air, but it doesn't matter if the fucking air stinks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't stink like shit. I shouldn't say that. It just, there's an odor to it that's not quite right.
Mm-hmm. It's underbaked.
Oh, definitely. It needed so much more time. It smells undercooked. That's the perfect way. Like, you can tell that this needed a lot more time. To be honest, this probably needed 2 more years to impress me, at least. If it wanted to
Mm-hmm.
impress me, it had to have 2 more years. And here's the reason why. I understand the tried and true formula of going around 8 gyms and being the very best is formulaic, and we've done it for 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
but it should still be in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a misunderstanding. It's like just because you it's not the point that it's like 8 gyms again. It's the fact that we're doing it the same. Like you could still have the 8 gyms and just have it. You could still work around that and make it unique,
Yeah,
like with each fight. You know.
but instead they decided to make the Pokédex the focus, which in theory it's a decent idea because it gives the Pokédex more prevalence to the game, which is fine
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
because the Pokédex usually is just, okay, I have the Pokédex in my inventory, whatever. I never really look at the Pokédex, but now you're always constantly looking at the thing.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine that they made the Pokédex more important, but they should have weaved this into a more formulaic Pokemon game. After the
Mm-hmm.
tutorial, they should have been like, hey, you might encounter some people in the wild that want to battle you. And after you battle these people, have these people like give you something, you can battle a special one of the wardens. You can battle one of the wardens and have it to where you have to do these battles to earn the fucking ride Pokemon. And
Mm-hmm.
you can have the noble bullshit happen, be just a side thing that happens, and have it be the main story, and just have it to where, like, it happens while you're going on your journey to be the very best warden or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it's not about being the very best. They've completely gutted that out. There's like 10 Pokemon battles, trainer battles in the whole story. And the only reason why there are, I understand most of the trainer battles in Pokemons are mandatory and they're like roadblocks, but some of them you can avoid. Some of them are
Yeah.
like in completely different optional areas that you'll never even like go to unless you go there. So there's a fine balance to do it, and what they should have done, because they have Team Galaxy members standing out in the wild just randomly, just giving you random pieces of dialogue. Replace them with wild ass trainers. Just trainers that are crazy, and the reason why they love battling with their Pokemon and shit is because they lived in the Husuian wilderness, and it would make sense. And have rematches. Have it to where after you rematch them, their Pokemon team gets stronger. They add teams. You've done this before. They've done this in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They've done that mechanic before. They can do it again.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be so upset if this game had so much writing on it, but this was supposed to be the next evolution of Pokemon,
Yeah.
and it's not. I do not want this to be. I want them to take the mechanics that they've made and put them in a Pokemon game, because this is not a Pokemon game. This is a.
Yeah,
It's
this is what I'm scared of. Is I hope once the burnout happens and that there's more backlash and people shitting on it, I really hope that they don't take the wrong message from that
like
and just go back to like doing the safe,
yeah, that's
Pokemon
what
game.
I'm scared about. I really worried that this game might be. I'm not gonna say the end of Pokemon, but it's definitely gonna be the final downfall of Pokemon. If
Hmm.
the next game they make has to be better, it has to be a new region, has to have a new Pokédex, and it has to have at least 150 new Pokemon, at least. And that's a fucking tall task to fucking. Or that is a tall task that's a tall order to fill.
Yeah, and I feel like they're more resistant on that because more people want all the Pokemon in one game, and the more they add, the harder that becomes.
Which I understand, but I just want a decent. I wanted this with the classic. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping
Hmm.
there would be still the classic formula baked into this game, and it's not. They
Yeah.
I understand that they tried to be completely new and original, but they should not have done that. They strayed way too far.
Or I feel like I don't even agree with that. I feel like it just didn't work this time. I feel like they definitely need to be straying into a weird
No,
direction.
I'm not saying I'm they should be straying, but they stepped a little too far out of their comfort zone.
Hmm.
And it's evidently
Definitely.
clear. It's evidently clear. Like this, I'm going to assume if they gave themselves more time with this game, they would have created a better game. But that's their problem, is they're not giving their developers enough time to make the games.
And they just might not have the talent to
Y-
do it
yeah.
right now.
Well, after this, they've proven they do have the talent. This does show talent. I'm not saying this doesn't show talent. I'm not saying this isn't a good. This isn't a good game. It's just not a good Pokemon game.
I
I would
just
love
like
this if
compared
I
to like
see
things like Breath of the Wild, though.
it would I would not complain at all if I was catching 25 of an original creature. I would not care whatsoever. I would be because I'm trying to grown accustomed to the new creatures, trying to learn about them, trying to discover them. I've been using these same fucking creatures for 20 years now.
Hmm.
22 actually.
Yeah.
So I'm done with these creatures. I don't want to collect 25 of the same of these creatures. I don't want to collect 25 Charizards.
Hmm.
I have a Charizard. I don't need 25 Charizards. I just need one.
I wonder, do they even have like online interaction? Like with,
You
can you
can
battle
you
someone
can't battle.
else?
You can't battle because of the new turn system they got. They have it to where if you manipulate your stats well enough, you will get 2 turns
Mm,
back to back, which
yeah.
I kind of like. There is more strategy here, which I love and I hope they keep. But no, there's no online battles or nothing. There you can trade Pokemon with people, but that's about it.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like battling is definitely one of the things that you need to nail down, especially in. I feel like it's important to have two people who have the game be able to battle each other.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And I don't even care about the meta. I just want to battle NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just love battling NPCs. I love fucking Pokemon battling NPCs. I don't know why. I just get a kick out of fucking destroying a little twerp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a Jeff Goldblum. I can't give it that because it's not that disappointing to where I want my money back, but it's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But we can wrap this up. We've gone on long enough. We've been rambling on long enough.
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
And this ain't we. I'm actually gonna be able to label this a different episode. I'm gonna give this a proper title. This ain't a. This was more formulaic than usual.
It's just a regular relax talk.
Yeah, it's a regular relax talk.
Well, because we become unrelaxed.
Yeah, we became unrelaxed. These topics, Spotify and Pokemon being in see this. That's what made us unrelaxed. We realized Spotify and Pokemon's future was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do the outro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you've been listening this long, thank you so much. Please like or comment dislike on the video, and share it around. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And how about you go check out some more of our content? We have Let's Plays, we have Loose Butthole Reviews, which is TV and movie reviews, and we have the new Toonami Night podcast that recently came out last week, and we have more relaxed talks you can listen to. Do you have a sign off that you want to do, Spooge?
If you have any, post whatever you think is strong in Arceus or whatever you think is wrong with it. Give your opinion.
Give your opinion on Legends Arceus?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And this will be a bye-bye.
Boy.